Accordingly, I'd like to invite for the keynote speech Chaitanya Krishna. So for his brief introduction, he is very much familiar face personality among the Nepali as well as global Sanatana community. He is also known as the young spiritual philosopher. His amazing, thoughts and spiritual sadhana power has motivated many of us from Nepal and abroad. He is also the founding president of Kali Gandaki Spiritual Foundation. So the institution is located at Malwa Sangha, and he has a grand spiritual project there running the Gurukulam, and he delivers spiritual teachings nationally and internationally. So he has been both inspiring spiritual leader for the youth, educators, and spiritual seekers. And yes, so more from him. And he's also the senior advisor for this campaign. We are blessed to have him as the advisor. And okay, the more from him, please. So you will be presenting on the topic Lord Krishna as an ideal teacher. As it is the International Education Day, now the presentation would focus on different aspects of teaching and learning from the Bhagavad Gita perspective. So Chaitanya Prabhuji will explain how Lord Krishna is an ideal teacher. Now over to you, Prabhu. Chaitanya Krishna.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Respected chairperson, honorable scholars, educators, and philosophers, esteemed representative of UNESCO and the Learning Planet Institute, distinguished speakers, moderators, and participants from across the world, and my dear seeker of truth, Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. It is both a blessing and a sacred responsibility to stand before you today on the auspicious occasion of World Education Day 2026 under the noble initiative of Gita4Life in collaboration with the Learning Planet Institute of France and UNESCO to reflect upon the theme exploring different aspects of teaching and learning, the Bhagavad Gita perspective. Education as awakening. Education, in its truest sense, is not merely the accumulation of information, it is the awakening of consciousness. It is not only about preparing individuals to earn a living, but about enabling them to live meaningfully, act righteously, and serve selflessly. In the context, the Bhagavad Gita is not merely a scripture, it is a timeless university of wisdom where the classroom is a battlefield, the student is confused and vulnerable, and the teacher, Lord Sri Krishna, is calm, compassionate, ever smiling, and infinitely wise. Sri Krishna, the ideal amidst struggle. Today, I speak on Sri Krishna as an ideal, not merely as a divine incarnation, but as the perfect teacher, the ideal guide, and the highest educational model humanity has ever known. The incarnation of Sri Krishna is marked by innumerable struggles, sufferings, challenges, and crises. Yet there is not a single moment in his life when he is seen defeated, depressed, or morally weakened. Despite being born in a prison, separated from his parents at birth, raised amidst conspiracies, violence, and constant threats, Sri Krishna never lost his inner radiance. He never carried bitterness. He never succumbed to despair. He never lost his smile, even on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, when Arjuna, overwhelmed by fear and attachment, depressed, declares that he will lay down his weapons, abandon the war, and go begging. Nayotsheti Govindam uktva tusrim bhavuvaha. Oh Govinda, I shall not fight. And he falls silent. At that very moment, amid weapons, tensions, and the immense of war, Sri Krishna remains serene. He smiles and he begins to teach. This is divine pedagogy. Serenity in chaos, wisdom in crisis, and compassion in conflict. Education beyond dualities. Sri Krishna teaches us to rise above life, constant oscillations. Sukha dukkhe shame kritva labha labhau jaya jayo. Treat pleasure and pain, gain and loss, victory and defeat alike. True education does not remove problems. It cultivates equanimity, clarity, and courage. Freedom with responsibility. After imparting the highest wisdom, Sri Krishna grants Arjuna complete freedom. Bimbrisaita dasesayana yathechajita thakuru. Reflect deeply upon this in its entirely, and then act according to your own understanding. This is the highest respect a teacher can offer a student. Freedom guided by wisdom and responsibility. Sri Krishna as Sachidananda. Sri Krishna embodies Sachidananda, Sat, eternal truth, Chit, supreme consciousness, Ananda, everlasting bliss. He remains as Najayate Mriyate va kadachin. The soul is never born, nor dies, it even die. It ever die. Education that leads to self-realization liberates humanity from fear and despair. Nepal, the land of the divine. Dear respected seekers and friends, it is deeply meaningful that such a reflection arises from Nepal, a land revered as the abode of gods. Within Nepal flows a sacred Kali Gandaki river where Salagram is found. I come from Uttar Vahini Kali Gandaki river area in the border of Lumbini and Gandaki province of Nepal. A river that does not merely flow geographically but spiritually against the ordinary direction. It flows toward north direction, symbolizing transcendence. According to the Narada Purana, the Uttar Vahini Kshetra is the tapasthali of Mrikandu Rishi and the birthplace of Maharshi Markandeya, the sage who conquered death, devotion, and knowledge. According to the Ananda Ramayana, the same sacred land is where the 16,000 queens of Lord Sri Krishna in their previous birth performed intense penance and received a boon from Lord Rama to be born as the queen of Lord Krishna. Thus, Nepal, especially the Uttar Vahini Kali Gandaki Kshetra, stands not only a geographical treasure, but as a living classroom of dharma, tapasya, and divine education. I therefore pray on this auspicious occasion with Uttar Vahini Kali Gandaki Mata for the world peace and for the joy, bliss, and ecstasy of the people and living being in this universe. Education for society, nature, and dharma. From childhood, Sri Krishna stood for justice, protecting children's nourishment, challenging unjust taxation, uplifting marginalized communities. He purified the five elements: earth, water, fire, air, and space, reminding us that education without ecological consciousness is incomplete. Annad bhavanti bhutani. All the living beings are sustained by food. To protect nature is not optional, it is a spiritual duty. Education as liberation. Dear respected seekers and friends, in an age where education is increasingly commercialized, when success is measured only by ranking and salaries, The Bhagavad Gita calls us back to the soul of learning. Whenever humanity is confused, whenever individuals feel lost, whenever societies stand at crossroads, the Gita speaks, Krishna guides, and Dharma prevails. Let us not confine the Gita to rituals or recitations. Let us bring it into classroom, leadership, governance, and daily life. Because when education is guided by Krishna's wisdom, learning becomes a liberation, knowledge becomes compassion, action becomes service. I bow with deep gratitude to Gita4Life, to the Learning Planet Institute, and to UNESCO for creating this sacred global platform where wisdom meets education. We may all become students like Arjuna, humble enough to ask, brave enough to act, and wise enough to surrender to truth. At last, I heartily invite all the seekers and all of you to Uttar Vahini Kali Gandaki Kshetra in Nepal to get the any unanswered questions. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you.
Pranam, and thank you, Gurudev, for your insightful presentation. Actually, you explore, multi-dimensional personality of Lord Krishna. That's why he is the, ideal teacher.